Dear students, today we will be studying composition of functions. We already know that a function is a special type of relation which is defined from say set A to another set, say set B, such that every element of set A has a unique image in set B. Now, if we have two of the functions f and g defined respectively from A to B and then B to C, then we can always define a function from A to C as gof of x is equal to g of fx. Now, in diagrammatic form, we can just study if you want to that A, B and C are three of the sets. Then, if we define a function f from A to B, a function g from B to C, then we can always define a function gof from A to C as if you take the element x, then its image will be fx, and the image of fx under the function g will be g of fx, which will be an element of the set C. So by the function gof, we are directly associating the elements of set A to the elements of set C, and x is mapped into gof of x or g of fx. Now we take some examples of the composition of functions. If you define fx as x square plus 2 and we define gx as x cube, then we can define gof of x as g of fx, and both these functions are defined from say R to R. Then g of fx will be g of fx means x square plus 2. Now in place of x over here we will be writing x square plus 2, x square plus 2 whole cube. Now some of the students sometimes from proceeding while finding gof of x, what they do is they sometimes write it like this, g of fx, and in place of x they first of all write fx. So this becomes fx whole cube, and fx is nothing else but x square plus 2 whole cube. So this is how we can calculate the composition of two of the functions. Now second example, if you define say fx as 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3, and it is being asked to find f of x. So this is f composition fx, and this will mean f of 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3. Now in place of x we will be substituting 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3. So we have 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3 whole to the power 3 to the power 1 by 3. fx is 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3. Now to find of f of this element, in place of x we write this whole expression, and that is what we have done. 3 is over here, 3 is here, the minus sign is here. In place of x we are writing 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3. So 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3 whole to the power 3, and then if you raise it to the power 1 by 3, so this is 3 minus x cube to the power 1 by 3. So this is x cube to the power 1 by 3, and this will give you x. So this is how we can calculate. If the function is given, then f composition f can be calculated. Now, two of the properties is there. Property 1, that f is a function defined from b, a to b, and g is a function defined from b to c. If f is a function defined from a to b, g is a function defined from b to c, are one-to-one functions. Then GOF defined from A to C is also one-to-one. We can check this thing out. If you need to prove this one, then you can have proof of this one, that GOF of x1 is equal to GOF of x2 this means g of fx1 is equal to g of fx2, and keep in mind that x1 and x2 both belong to set A. Now since g is one-to-one, we have fx1 is equal to fx2, since g is 1-to-1. Now since f is 1-to-1, and by the definition of 1-to-1 functions, fx1 equal to fx2 implies that x1 is equal to x2. So therefore GOF is 1-to-1. Now we move on to the second property, property 2, and now we are dealing with the onto functions. The next property is that f is a function from A to B and g is a function defined from B to C. These two are onto functions, then their composition GOF is also an onto function. The next concept is, if f defined from A to B and g is defined from B to C such that GOF is 1-to-1, then this implies that f is 1-to-1. Okay, just you have to pay attention that g may or may not be 1-to-1, but it is necessary that f has to be 1-to-1, then only GOF can be 1-to-1. If f is defined from A to B and g is defined from B to C such that GOF is onto then this implies that G is also onto. G is also onto. F may or may not be onto, but the function G has to be an onto function. Okay. Now the next property, property 5. F plus G composition H is actually equal to F composition H plus G composition H, and similarly F dot G composition H is equal to F composition H plus G composition H. Okay, thank you so much.